Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Exploring Avatar. In this one, we finish off Volume 2 of the High Ground, which will conclude our High Ground series. But, anyways, my co host, Drew, as always, thank you for being here. And how are you doing, man?
Doing good, Jerry. How are you?
Good, man. I'm doing good. Got a facelift,
I
feeling great.
was going to say,
Not a real
who am I talking to here?
But hello to everybody in the chat. Afton Child, Brianna Brown, welcome guys. And yeah, man. So it's gonna be a pretty long stream. We're gonna go through the entirety of the rest of the volume. We're just gonna get it done this time. No more cliffhangers, aside from the actual cliffhanger at the end of this, which obviously goes into volume 3. But we already covered that, so we don't have to worry about that. Hello, Shadow Knight, and yes, Brianna Brown. I did. The channel has gone through a name change and all that, but I could touch on that at the end of the stream. No worries though. Avatar stuff is not going anywhere. It's just kind of to be able to talk about other stuff that I like, because sometimes there isn't a lot of Avatar stuff to talk about, but we will always have this stream on Friday nights. But yeah, how are you all doing? And are you guys ready to go through the rest of Avatar: The High Ground Volume 2? And Drew, anything new with you before we start?
Not really with me, but I did see, we got some new news about Avatar coming out digitally, and I'm sure we're going to cover that. So that was cool to see. But for me personally, no, man, just same old, same old.
Nice. Yeah, we I did a stream the other day when the day the news came out. But yeah, it's great to see that we finally have a date for the digital, at least, because like we mentioned, it was kind of strange, no physical release. So I wonder what that's all about. And obviously no date yet for Disney Plus, but that's because right now, they're trying to get you to buy it first. I mean, trying to make even more money. We can't just leave Avatar money on the table. So it makes sense. It makes sense. But the no physical one is a little bit for any physical collectors out there. Hopefully that means down the road that will still come out. I hope that's not a total, scrap. So I guess we'll wait and see on that one.
I hope at minimum I'm assuming that we will get a physical copy, but I hope at minimum it has everything the digital copy has, and it'd be cool if they added a little bit extra just to kind of encourage people to double dip.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm just glad that the first release, it's not just bare bones. It does have a lot of special features, because we've talked about our love of behind the scenes, and especially in the collector's edition of the first movie. But we did have to wait a while for that. I believe the end of 2010, I believe, something around somewhere around there.
I believe so, yeah.
So
And yeah, like you said, that first one we got had nothing, just the movie. So it's nice that we are actually getting extra content this time. And it looks like a whole lot of extra content, so that's exciting.
exactly. The only thing that's missing are any like deleted scenes or some cut scenes. That the collector's edition of the first one did have a bunch, like I think an hour's worth or so. So maybe it's something they're either incorporating some of those into Avatar 3, or it's going to be one of those where we might even get another, an extended edition down the road that they're saving them for. So that could be pretty interesting. If that's the reason, then I'm all for that. Because I'm hoping for some kind of extended release. For the first movie, it was like the following summer. So who knows, man? I would go back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of nice having that break and then getting to see it, a few last times or even just one last time in theaters too.
Exactly. But all right, I guess we will dive into the rest of the comic. Oh, we left off when they were in space, about to finally start the confrontation with the RDA. Uh, a heck of a cliffhanger to leave on, but like I said, in this one we'll cover the rest of it. So get comfortable. Make sure you got your GAC ready and everything, and let's dive into the rest of this comic here. We'll start with the loading up the first slide.
Well, I don't have any gack, but I do have a nice fresh bottle of water, so.
There we go. Nice. All right. So here we are. We're starting. They were in the shuttles going to space. So here we are. Looks like we got Neytiri. She says, "Great mother, no." Let's see. I am one of the people. I am here to fight too. Oh, is this Nethium?
I believe it is.
Oh, kid, he doesn't know. We're not just here to fight. We're here to die. Jeez. Or it might just be another young Navi, but it kind of looks like Nethium. Let's see. Oh, what the hell were you thinking? I'm your son. I am a warrior. Okay, yes, it's Nethium. Warriors don't disobey a direct order. He cannot be here, Jake. We have to go back.
I think we've got our next artist, maybe, too.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. The art, especially on the faces, it kind of changed a little bit. I mean, also, I guess the helmet would change it too. I earned my Ikran. I am one of the people. I have a right to be here too. Bad guy shuttle is inbound. 2-minute warning. Son. Your son is brave. I will keep him with me, Jake Sully. Thank you, brother. I trust you with my son's life, as I trust you with mine. Is that
Aqua?
was that the... Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming so.
The leader of
it answers
Iran.
it answers it in the next slide there. You ride with the horse people now, big man. So
Yeah, there you go. And I guess that does confirm that they kind of did get integrated into the Metkayina, like the visual dictionary confirmed about on, which we'll get into in a few weeks. We're going to really start breaking down the visual dictionary and the art books. But on the spread for Norm, it does confirm there that the Tehrangi clan got eliminated during the battle at the end of the first movie, and the few surviving members integrated into the Metkayina. So I guess that proves it right there. I have no more heroic words. I see you. My friends, courage. And Neytiri says, no fear. Oh, and he says it, strong heart. And I assume this is the ones that stayed behind on Pandora, right? Yeah.
And hey, Jerry, one thing, you said the Tehrangi clan. He was I believe it's Olangi.
Oh, Olangi. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Man, I got my Ongis messed up.
Yeah, keep them straight.
Oh my god. But you're right. Good save there. All right. And looks like spiders being flagged down by them. This way. And then they knock on Spider's window, and we saw in Volume 1 that he sleeps there with the picture of his mom up there on the ceiling. And he says, awesome, and then he jumps out of bed. He came back. Like I'd ever leave you, says Kiri. Monkey boy, let's go. All right. On the RDA shuttles, no mods, no weapons ports. She's beat to hell, but she looks clean. Proceed to hard dock. Okay, Valkyrie 2-1, hold the roll, align your port to my closing vector. There's something to be said for a plan so crazy nobody would ever try it, like the element of surprise. The problem is, there's usually a reason nobody ever tried it. So I guess his plan was to kind of dock with one of the other shuttles and them not think that they were actually on board and just kind of go on by to the other ship, right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like so far.
Okay.
And so far, so good.
Okay. Don't exactly know what that is. Clear, just the three of them. Prepare to be boarded and search. Keep your hands in sight. Come ahead. E-team go. Copy. I believe that's Norm.
I believe so too. We don't have the red vest, so and no children, so it's hard to confirm. But yeah, I do think that is Norm.
If it were to pan out, you'd see 28 other little spacesuits with them. Oh my god. All right, move, move, move. So they're sneaking out. With me, boy, keep up, he says to Netayam. All right. So it looks like the RDA came on board and found them out, while the other ones are still sneaking underneath, I believe. Marines, these guys smell like home. Not in a good way. I didn't know they made suits for you blue monkeys. I used to smell just like them. We make them ourselves. They itch like hell.
I find it a little bit funny. Kiri calls Spider a monkey, and then we've got humans calling the not V monkeys. It's like everybody's a monkey.
God, now I feel bad for monkeys. They're just using that as a derogatory term.
Right?
They're like, what the heck, man? All right. Clean. Toss the helmet. You don't need it. Rather breathe my own air if you don't mind. You can't bring. And it looks like notices the bow and arrow. Or the bow, at least. She hisses at him. Get your hands off my bow. Pink skin. I speak for the Metkayina people. It's a bow. This is a starship. Let her keep the damn thing. Negative for explosives. Josh, you stay with the ship. Nope. Bring the pilot. Move. All right, I'm coming. Then back on Pandora with the kids and Spider. Stop right there. Don't move. Tell me it's McCosker or something. Spider, what the hell? It's the Sully kids. And what are you still doing here? We were just going, Mr. McCosker. No, hang on a minute. You kids want to help me do something really important? With the group that's sneaking underneath. I have to pee. This is not a good time. Oh god! Here
Some
they
riveting
come.
dialogue here.
Oh my god! Norm says, "Go." Helmets off. Earth air won't kill you. Not for a while, anyway. And the headsets. No, if my ground team loses comms with us, they start blowing stuff, starting with the refinery. You guys hear me okay? Copy. How long do you think this dynamite vest trick's gonna work? You know, these suits really bind in the crotch. Makes me kind of impatient. You're never getting off this ship, you know that? Let's go. So we're gonna be like demolition assistants? Yeah, something like that. Can we watch when you blow up the base? Right in here, ladies first. Come here, you. And it looks like it was a trap. Closed it behind them. Frickin' McCosker, man.
Oh, McCosker.
He let us out.
Haven't
My dad's gonna
ever
mess
liked
you
that
up.
guy.
God. No, mom's gonna kill us. I've had enough of you. That makes two of us. Hey, you get a great view from the bridge. Don't you? He's at the bridge. We're on track. General, there's only one reason I'm talking to you, General, and it's because I served myself. I don't want to see you throw away good people, but that's exactly what you'll be doing if you land. Take it from one former ground pounder to another. You're outflanked and outgunned. Engage, and the survivors will talk about what we do here for 10,000 years. I think we said it last stream. I do like that they really make her really intimidating in these, at least in the high ground comics, for sure.
Yeah, she's vicious. She didn't mess around at all.
Yeah. Let's discuss terms of surrender. Leave Pandora now, and we let you live. We're not going anywhere. If you land, every living thing in this world will be united in one cause, to eliminate every trace of you. Sapper 1, we're at the power trunk. Need 2 more minutes. Breathe, Netayam. Let's see here. Boom. Here we go. I'm sorry, does our atmosphere no longer agree with you? It's not the air, it's the company. You probably noticed when I sent all your people back 14 years ago, I kept the unobtainium shipment. We noticed. Last I checked, that much unobtainium was worth $3.2 trillion. Where is it? Oh wow, I didn't actually think we were going to hear about unobtainium again.
No, and 3.2 trillion? I mean,
Gosh.
it's not chump change for anybody.
No. How you guys doing in the chat so far? Pretty good. And obviously, like we said, no worries. This time we're not gonna end it prematurely. We're going all the way. Okay, not that way. Brianna Brown says she wishes he got more of Netayam in Avatar: The Way of Water. But I would say that what we did get was good, and honestly, it was a good ending to the character. And who knows, they may revisit him even more again, with the connecting to the Tree of Souls and all that. All right, let's keep moving here. Safe and sound on the derelict ship. And because you think you're clever, you got it all rigged with explosives as well. Damn straight. I say you take it and go and call it a day. There are exactly 2 scenarios here. One in which you surrender and I grant amnesty to your people, and the other in which everyone down there dies. There is no in between. You feeling the headache yet? Fingers tingling, hands maybe starting to shake. We waste time, husband. These sky people cannot see. You know what? She's right. You aren't listening. Ground, blow the refinery. Copy. Fire in the hole. No, wait. We can talk. Blows it anyways. Son of a bitch. You just killed yourself. I am not afraid to die. Nobody's dying, baby. Gotta love it.
Jake's such a stud in the comics. No one's dying, baby.
You still got the mine, the factory, and the power plant. So you might want to get that blade off my wife's neck before I really start kicking down your sandcastle. Stand down. Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that they were wearing the skull suits in here. I thought you were here to discuss a treaty. So you do want to talk. Okay. Sapper teams, state your status. Sapper 1, ready. 2. Ready. I guess I could propose something like, you recognize the sovereign authority of the peoples of Pandora in exchange for mining leases away from sacred sites. Now you're being more constructive. But you'd break that treaty like every treaty ever made by people like you. We're done here. Nah, we're just getting started. We're almost in position, Jake. 1 minute. I've waited for this day a long time, Jake. Just say the word. And then 2 shots. Dang McCosker, dude. Wow. Ma'am, it's the plant manager again. Okay, I've got the explosives disarmed. We have control of the base. It's all yours in exchange for amnesty. And tell Sully we have his kids.
That guy is just the worst.
And the fact that it just has taken, like, they keep trusting them.
I mean, poor Spider, dude. Like, his dad was Quaritch, and then his, adopted father is
Wannabe
Quaritch. Just as bad as him, yeah.
Oh, man. But listen to me. He's got an attack force. They're trying to take over your ship. There's no attack. Shut up. External security react. Search the ship. Strong heart. No fear. I will strip the skin off him slowly. Jesus. Oh, is she going to go into a Way of Water beast mode again? She's going to go freaking Super Saiyan? Not so fast. I've got your wife and your kids. And I will execute them all personally, starting with her, if you don't stand down. Normie, copy? Copy. What I'm going to say next, I need you to do without question. Do you understand? Understood. Did the art just change again? I think so.
Yeah, on the previous page, it looked like Jake's head was like floating on his body. It was really strange. The bottom left, it's like there's It's just kind of a
Oh,
head
okay,
there.
yeah.
It's just a weird angle, but yeah, the art definitely changed. I don't think for the better.
Take the shot. Do it now. Here we go with the monkey again. No, no monkey talk. English. 2. Target block. Tell her to shift left. Neytiri, move left. I said take the shot. All teams execute. Order 66. There you go. They blow it. Dude. Navi in space with guns, bro. I like that panel.
It's
Looks pretty
crazy.
sick.
It is.
And they're sniping them. Okay, that's pretty dope. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so she like snaps her hand or wrist. God, everybody's just doing funny poses in this one. All right, Jake does like a little backflip off of him. Chews through the cuffs. The pilot's floating like I would. I'm like, what is happening there? He's just having a great time. I was like,
Just enjoyed it.
oh.
They're wishing they didn't let Neytiri have her bow at this point.
Oh, smacked him. You can see like the little blood right here. That's pretty cool. Floating. Can't tell. Is that Jake? Jake gets a gun and starts shooting. Wow, that.
It's an awkward angle.
So let's say the upper body looks weird. Picks up a helmet to block the shots, and then they're out of ammo. Start going out. All right, it's getting. You got to help me here. It's getting kind of tough to understand what the heck is going on.
It looks like they've got skull suits out. I'm assuming looking for the Not V that are attacking outside.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and that bottom panel shows it. All right, let's see here. They blow it again. Shuttle team is in. Jesus. Yells out, close all airtight doors. Man, we have fire and multiple depress all over the ship. Did I say that right?
I believe so.
Depress. Ma'am, I need all EVA teams or EVA teams from the other ships displacing to our position now. Do it. Let's get this punk. The pilot. Guys, hold fast, blow the bridge corridor. It's just kind of it's getting crazy. It's getting like it's still weird to see them in space, and right now the conditions look like 2001: A Space Odyssey or something. Uh, I mean, it's interesting. It's just kind of like a weird environment to still see them in, you know?
Absolutely. It's like nothing we've seen in the movies, and they definitely caught them all by surprise.
Yeah. All right. So they breached again. They're heading aft. Port corridor, go. Baby, you all right? God, Jake with that baby talk. Jake, what do we do? You know, stop with the baby stuff, okay? Stuff's going on right now. We finish the mission, then there won't be a landing force. Nobody to hurt the kids. Sully's never quit. The kids know it too. Sully's never quit. Yikes, the eyes right there. Winslow's never quit either. I was already just thinking in the last panel, this guy just seems like a third wheel in their conversation. And he just really hammered that whole Winslow's never quit either. We gotta get to the auxiliary weapons station, like stat. And they're like, you're still here? Norm,
It's
we couldn't
Winslow
take the bridge.
McFarlane.
We're going for the backup. Copy all teams. Move aft to docking bridge. Winslow's never quit either. Oh god. Looks like getting some of the bows and arrows ready. Let's go. It's not like this guy can take out 4 starships. He can if he uses this ship's weapons against the others. Where can he do that from? Oh crap, docking bridge, auxiliary fire control this way. There we go. We got, like you said, Aquay. Rating up the bow and arrow. Start letting loose on some of the people in the skill suits. Getting into Volume 3 territory with not a lot of dialogue, just action. Norm, you set? Good to go. Execute. Evacuate. Clear. They plug up the bullet holes. You got this. Working on it. Come on, Winslow. So we got the fighting out on the outside the shuttles. We got them inside. Earth air ain't what it used to be. Seconds count, buddy. Hey, if you can hack an encrypted military code to take over a starship's weapon systems any quicker, be my guest. All right, calm down. Must have blown the wall. Hard vac on the other side. All right, we go around. Let's move. We got scales inbound to our position. A lot of them. Time for you guys to bug out. Get your teams to Ming Shuttle. Not leaving you, pal. No, do it. Get my son out of there. Out of there. We'll be right behind you. Copy that. Booyah! I'm in. I've got control. Who's the man? Okay, targeting now. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Winslow and Avatar 3, please.
Who's gonna play him?
Oh my god.
Patrick Stewart.
God, I don't think he's like 70 or something. Target the antimatter drives. You're reading my mind, buddy. They'll see the frickin' flash from Earth. Okay. We're doing this, Jake. We're really doing this. All weapons, targets locked. Fire. And let's see here. No, don't tell me Winslow's gone. They breach. Yikes. Some arrows to the face.
Yeah, that's vicious right there.
Josh, did we do it? Oh no. Jesus, no. Mission aborted. Repeat, mission aborted. We've lost Josh. We've lost. Oh my, he was that important. He was that important. No. Oh my god. Let's go.
There's
All
Josh Izzo bleeding out.
Oh my god.
I mean, Josh Winslow.
Don't.
No, when they were calling him Josh at first, I was thinking, I wonder if this is a nod to Mr. Izzo.
Yeah. Izzo's never surrender. Husband, Sully's never quit. Oh my god. We go to the children now. Wait, stop. We can't go. My mom and dad aren't out yet. You do what you want, but I'm going back. This boy shows us what being a warrior means. We go back. Oh, crap. That's right, Norm. This way. And then we see a bunch of scale suit soldiers. Jake, we're coming for you. We're in Cryo 3, Norm. We're cut off. Get to the aft bulkhead. We'll meet you there.
Neytiri's neck has grown substantially.
Oh my god. God. Reminiscent of some of the very early Navi concept art. One more thing. We're gonna need helmets. Than just the crazy all-out war that I wish we could see like in action here, like moving. And I guess just take a few of their helmets then. Can't tell who that's supposed to be. We've got them. They're in Cryo 3. Got her. So we got like Neytiri dodging some firing. Got Jake just stalking. Freaking Michael Myers right there. Jesus Christ. You even scared me. Comes out. Give it up, Jake. You got no place to go. You got to be feeling that earth air by now. You were a soldier once, just like me. And I got to ask, what does it take for a Marine to turn on his own? Let's see. He shoots him in the arm. Damn it. I believe that's Nethiam fetching more helmets, I believe. And basically somebody's going to sneak up on him with the knife. Looks like Aquay saved him. The heck is this green substance here?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy how once we've gotten to this third artist, like how hard it is to follow now.
Yeah, it really has become very hard to understand what is happening. Because I'm like, I don't think any of them have green blood. I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
the
know if
Navi.
that's something from a skull suit or what exactly that
Oh,
would
okay.
be.
Maybe because they shot one of the arms of a skeleton suit. Maybe it's leaking something. I think I don't know. Do so basically, I'm getting we have a little fight between this one guy and Jake. I'm sure in motion, this whole third sequence would have been very cool. It's just right now very hard to follow, at least for me. I mean, this one, yeah, we got a cool little action thing here with Jake and that guy. Basically, we'll just let you guys take in some of the action shots here. God, you would think this was like freaking Quaritch and Jake again.
Yeah, I wonder if that's where they got some of the ideas.
like random Joe number 3, even saying like Quaritch lines.
Kind of shows how tough a skull suit can be.
Yeah. Oh man, this is not good. You kind of see another shuttle approaching. They say, "Stay down, boys and girls." Fires off like a missile. Let's move. Come on. Then it looks like Jake bites him in the hand or the arm. He's a son of a bitch.
When all else fails.
Oh my god. Is he drowning him in like a giant one of those green bubbles?
I'm not for sure.
I think that's what just happened. Kind of looks like he's holding his head down right there, and that's like kind of
Yeah,
like
it
a
does.
shot looking up when somebody's in the movies when they've shown people like with
Right.
their head in water drowning. Oh my god. I'm
Wow.
just still like, what is this green stuff? I'm sure one of the explosions caused something to leak or something, but I just like I didn't get the memo of what this is supposed to be, and that is a giant green bubble.
Huh. That's wild. I definitely didn't catch that when I read through it on my own.
That's crazy. I am at the wall. I need you to mark your position somehow. Boo. Got it. Looks like she shoots I think through, I don't know if it's glass or something like that. They kind of see where she's at. Got it. Jake, we've only got one helmet. Neytiri gets it. I'm doing it the hard way. He gasps. He's alive. Oh, it's funny because the next one he's like, "Oh, don't hold your breath." Charge, charge is set. Blow it. Do it now. Man, this got like very. At least this artist is like everything got like very science fiction. You like, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like literally, this like all these shots are like reminding me of like 2001: A Space Odyssey or something. Let's see here. Wait, in that first panel, who's that? Like without a helmet? That was supposed to be Jake.
I know. Did Neytiri ever put one on?
Because then in the second one right next to it, that looks like Jake. But on the
It
first one,
does.
like did the artist
Sure.
forget that it's supposed to be Jake and not? Like, there's no female Navi that right now should be without a helmet. That's kind of weird. All right. And the very last one. What just happened? Did they get away? Launch to intercept. Hey, our priority is to secure that base. Oh my! Who proofread and looked at this? Because it says belay that order. Isn't it delay that order?
I don't. I'm not familiar with the term belay, so I don't. I mean,
It's the brother to Gag. Uh, get me a shuttle. We're going in. The end of chapter 2. Okay, I'd have to say I was really enjoying it up until the third act slash third artist that went through this vault or that took over the volume there in the third act. But what do you guys think in the chat? What did you guys think? This is the last one. Obviously, we didn't have like the correct order of doing 1, 2, and then 3, but we already went through 3, and it's like now we understand why. When that one begins, Jake is kind of like, isn't he kind of like unconscious on the ship from the aftermath of this, and then he wakes up. Now we understand it's because he was kind of holding his breath there at the end. And then once they land, it's just that giant chase with the kids. Now we understood how they got captured. Because then in the third one, they break out. And then it's just a chase through the forest with the kids, things like that. While the parents or the rest of these are rushing back to get down to help. What'd you think, Drew, about the high ground? I think as a whole, if you kind of can reorganize it in your head and piece it together.
I liked it overall. I'm glad that we got Avatar 2 The Way of Water over this, just because I'd rather spend my theater time on Pandora versus space. But it was cool. I mean, it was cool. I almost kind of look at this as, I don't know, it's kind of an alternative take. Like, it didn't fit as seamlessly into Avatar 2 as I think maybe it could have. So, I know some of the hype leading up into Avatar 2 was like, you need to see this, or you need to read this before you go, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. You definitely didn't need to. Cool, fun story to dive into, but I don't know that it adds that much other than you get to see Na'vi in space.
Yeah, pretty much the only important part, and it's funny because that is the only real highlight that they themselves gave it, was that it really gives you the backstory on Spider's mom. That's kind of like the important nugget of information that this really gave you. Because you got like a little bit on Kiri, but not much. But it was mostly just Spider's kind of like origin and his mom's backstory, or at least her story. And then they gave you the hint, that his dad was going to be Quaritch with the silhouette of what looked like Quaritch in the panels. And now in the movie, we know that really was true. Pretty much, I think that was the only main thing that you really had to take away from this whole thing. Because pretty much when you get to the movie, you never really have an inkling that any of this even happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt the same way. That's kind of what makes this story not really matter. And honestly, I felt with each book it got a little bit worse. And I don't really say that like disparagingly. It's just I really liked Volume 1. I liked Volume 2 a little less. And then Volume 3 was kind of a letdown for me. But, I mean, overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think if you could have binged it just like 1, 2, 3, it probably would have at least flowed a little better. And I think also maybe it was just a little too many artists because I think each volume had 3 artists, right, for each of
I
the
think so.
acts.
Yeah.
So in total, we saw like like 9 different artists tackle Avatar. I think it was kind of just also just a little bit visually confusing, a little bit too much of a change every so often. You would get used to an art style, and then it just changes on you. Um, and then the GAC green bubbles there at the end. Uh, that's somebody's like that's GAC. Oh man.
Yeah,
But
you
Charlie
made a
Wood
good
said,
point there. Like, you really need the artist to like draw the not V well in the face. So you can just look at it and be like, "That's Jake. That's Neytiri," etc.,
yes.
etc. It's hard when you can't. You're kind of guessing.
Yeah, like the first artist on this volume 2, I think was my favorite in terms of you could right away see who it was. Like Jake looked like Jake, Neytiri, like all of the characters look like their counterpart in Avatar 2. So and Jake and Neytiri look whatever, like both of the movies. But some of these other artists, it gets very difficult sometimes to understand like who this character even is. So because I mean they're all the same color, they all kind of look the same. Aside from, can you easily tell it's male or female? But other than that, it's like you really got to nail the intricacies of like the face designs to really sell it right away. And first artist that was my favorite on this volume. Where was that guy that looks after Spider in Avatar 2? Oh, McCosker.
McCosker.
Um, what happens to him in Volume 3? I already forgot what happens to McCosker in Avatar 3 in Volume 3. Does he
It's
help
been
them
so long,
escape?
honestly. It's been so long since we read it. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I'm assuming that. I mean, who knows? Do you guys remember what happened to McCosker in Volume 3 when we went over it? Because I do not remember what happened to McCosker. I know I hate him. Just like freaking the scene in the water boy. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Oh. Yeah, if he does show up later down the road, shoot him.
Yeah, I hope Neytiri ends up skinning him.
Oh my god. Some of the some of the lines. You're like, calm down, baby. Charlie Wood. Yeah, I thought it was going to be canon, but doesn't seem like it is. I mean, according to James Cameron, it still is canon, and these events happen. But like he said, and we kind of pointed out as well, it's like I almost can't even picture that this actually took place. You know what I mean? It like volumes 1 and 3, I can kind of picture that, but especially all the stuff we saw in this volume, like all the space stuff and everything, I think it was just a little too out there. And definitely, you were right. I'm glad that he skipped this as Avatar 2 and gave us the Way of Water story for Avatar 2, because this one, yeah, really wouldn't have seemed like Avatar at all.
I searched on the wiki to see if it said what happened to McCosker, and it's kind of funny because they obviously have the same issues that we did, but it says one of the soldiers who follows the Sully family into the forest looks similar to McCosker, raising the possibility he immediately geared up and pursued the RDA in their chase. Although it's unclear due to the change in the comic's art style with no names being said. And there's actually a photo of who they think is McCosker being killed, but again, I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you if that's him or not.
And that was somebody potentially killed in Volume 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Again,
right.
it's just hard to tell because of the art, so.
Hmm. Well, I guess the McCosker's fate will be a mystery. But but something interesting that I did come across that I did send to you, comics related. I sent you kind of like a little picture, a screenshot of some panels from I believe it was called what the next Avatar, the next shadow, right? Yeah, the next shadow,
Yeah. Hmm.
and then it was between Sute's family, his brother, and then his mother, like Sute's mother and Sute's brother. And Sute's mother brings up like that. Oh man, I forgot the exact quote, but to the extent that there are clans there out in the ashes that would take them in. So it's pretty cool that way back when we got the next shadow, we kind of got a reference of some kind of Ash clan, and then even at that point that they would take in, you know, maybe some not very good Navi. So already an indication that whatever these Ash uh, clans were, that they could be filled with some pretty bad Navi. So that was a pretty cool deep cut. That was pretty interesting to see.
I agreed. I was glad that you pointed that back out because I hadn't revisited those comics since around the time I originally read them. So I like when things tie nicely together, unlike the high ground, which leads me into what Charlie Wood's saying here. If the high ground is canon, how does Way of Water start? With them being on a date night and surprised by the arrival of the RDA ships. Yeah, it's the same thing
Exactly.
me and Jerry have talked about. It just doesn't fit smoothly in there at all. So I almost just see it, just kind of look at it as like an alternate take, maybe, or I don't know. I definitely don't see it as canon, even though they were pushing it as such.
I mean, the technicality is, I think, if you look at the beginning of Way of Water, that scene when they're on the date night and then they see the RDA return, from that point to when they're raiding that like RDA train, there's a 1 year gap of time that passes, right? So
I don't
basically
even remember, man.
that scene could have been a recreation of what we got in the comic in volume 1 when they were on the date night and they did see the RDA arrive. And then the movie says 1 year later, and now we're in that action scene where they're doing a raid on that like bullet train type of RDA train in the beginning of the movie.
Hmm.
So basically, he's saying that what we got in this comic happened in that 1 year time span, in that time skip of the movie. But like you said, honestly, I don't really buy that this really happened. I'll say that they'll probably cherry pick some things like, okay, Spider's biological mother. I'll take that. I'll take that. She really was who the comic said she was, and obviously, Quaritch did turn out to be his dad. But yeah, all this other stuff that happened, the space stuff, and I mean, at the end of Volume 3, they come face to face with an Akula, for God's sakes, or something, or Nalusa. I don't even know which one it is. Uh, so it's
Yeah,
like,
if Netayam went into space and helped, even if it wasn't a whole lot, you'd think he'd have a lot more of Jake's trust in Avatar 2. If this whole story happened, it just doesn't work for me.
yeah, exactly. When we look at it as a whole, I mean, it was kind of a fun side story, but like not really canon. And it's kind of like what we said would just be interesting if they kind of gave us material every now and then, even if it wasn't canon, or even if it's just like following a completely different group of people. So like that, we didn't even have to try to connect it to the movies. We could just in the head canon just be like, oh well, this happened to these other characters in this other faraway region of Pandora, so the events have nothing to do with what we're seeing in the movies. I mean, that would be fine, except they kind of tried to, marry the two, where it's just this weird concept that I can't see really happening, and including characters we know from the movies that I'm like, yeah, I don't really think this, I don't really think they did this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we've been better off if they said, "Hey, this is James Cameron's original idea for Avatar 2. Some of it was then used in the sequels, some wasn't, versus trying to kind
Yeah.
of shoehorn it into Avatar 2 the way they did. But I'm with you, man. I would love to have like a monthly Avatar comic. It doesn't have to follow any of the movie people. It could be the Chronicles of Josh Winslow for all I care.
Oh
But
my
it would be
god.
cool to
The
see
best
just
part of Volume 2.
it would be cool
uh,
to see something and have something to look forward to. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys. I mean, you can just kind of tell this franchise came out, did amazing with Avatar 2, and then feels very dead right now. That's kind of a shame to be barely removed from Avatar 2. And I mean, it's still playing in theaters here, but the franchise feels kind of stale and dead right now. And that's too bad.
yeah, it really is. I wish we just had some other material, like you said, regardless of what it is. If it was like a meaty like novel, that you could really take your time to go through, even a monthly comic series, like even if it's completely new characters in a different part of Pandora, so where this other creative team can just go go crazy with it, like fans of the material, of course, but something that maybe James Cameron didn't have to supervise because it's something so remote. Kind of like with Frontiers of Pandora, that team is being allowed to create their own narrative that's so removed. It's in a part of Pandora that we're not going to visit in the movies. So Jon Landau said it's not going to affect the movies at all. So basically, go nuts when you get the game, because in your own head canon, it's like you could do whatever you want over here because it's not going to affect anything that is ever going to be shown in the movies or whatnot. Some things obviously have to remain, like you are battling the RDA. The events of Frontiers of Pandora happen in the same 1 year time span between them arriving and then between that action scene when they're raiding that bullet train. They said that's when the events of Frontiers will happen in that 1 year time span. But yeah, man, it's just like you said, it feels kind of dead. I feel like, can we just have an announcement of anything to have a date that we could look forward to for whether it's a comic, just anything, a book, something.
Yeah, something that expands it. Obviously, we got the date for the digital release, and I mean, we all knew that was coming at some point. Every movie gets that basically, but how are we expanding the franchise, growing the franchise, keeping fans engaged? Instead, it feels like fans have all just completely fallen off, and honestly, I don't blame them. That doesn't mean they didn't love seeing the movie and won't go see the next one. I'm sure they will, but I think a comic series set in I believe it's the Western Frontier that Frontiers is set in. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Because even I remember even the mobile game that we're supposed to be getting is also going to be set in a different, and it's going to introduce other regions that the movies will also not touch, I believe they said. So you kind of saw a little hint of like some like a desert or something in that one. So even that game was supposed to introduce you, like kind of expand it a little bit with some story, um also in other regions of Pandora, but we had no date on that either. I'm like, even a mobile game right now I would take.
Yeah, and where is that? I have no idea.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, looks like we lost Drew really quick. Afton Child says, "Can I be honest? The high ground comics are so confusing. I don't know what's happening. Who is who, or is this canon or not?" Yeah, sadly, I think what it was is like the constantly shifting artist wasn't helping. Some of them worked really good in the Avatar space for these comics, but some of them, their art style kind of didn't fit it. So, like you mentioned, it was sometimes difficult to understand what was happening, what was going on. So yeah, I agree with that. Charlie Wood says Avatar needs animated shows. Yes, that's the one I agree with. I know when they asked James Cameron, "Hey, will there be like some Disney Plus shows?" and he said no, but he's thinking more of like live action. That the technology. Oh, let me bring Drew back in. That the technology isn't there for live action shows, which I agree with. But it's like I don't even want a live action show. Give me an animated show. Technology is there for an animated show, of course. So I would love like a animated show that could really expand it, on Disney Plus. Like that would be great. Like that's how you use things like Disney Plus. That would be a good advantage for the franchise.
Sorry about that, guys. I believe I just got kicked out of StreamYard, but I'm back.
But yeah, they're saying in the chat that they would like some animated Avatar shows, and I agree, man. That would probably be my number one, even over comics and books. It's like an animated show. I don't even want a live action, just an animated one.
I think that'd be perfect because I mean it could appeal to kids and adults, but you wouldn't be competing with the movies, so the movies would still be fresh.
Exactly. You could be as imaginative as the creators, the showrunners want in the space of either 3D. It could even be kind of like a hybrid. Either a 2D animated show or even a CG kind of like like you've seen other shows, kind of like a CG animated show. Even that would work, knowing that it's not trying to replicate photorealism. It's just meant to be an animated show. So yeah, man, just I don't know. As Avatar fans, we're now kind of like in a weird funk. We're just kind of waiting for any indication of like what's the next thing that we can dive into story wise. Hopefully, it's not till 2024.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the franchise puts all their eggs in the movie making basket. And I mean, the results are there. You can't argue with it. But as fans, it doesn't seem to have that long lasting pull to keep everybody engaged. And we were just hoping it'd be a little bit different after Avatar 2 versus Avatar 1 because it was the same way. But at least this way, we don't have to wait super long for Avatar 3 to be in theaters. Um,
Yeah,
so hopefully they continue to develop some new content for us in the meantime.
yeah, especially if after Avatar 3 we could potentially be looking at like years and years long wait for 4, which is what I'm kind of anticipating will happen. I hope they kind of have some kind of plan in place for some other products to kind of come out in between, kind of like Juan right here in the chat says this is what I see in Star Wars, like Tales of the Jedi, things like that. They're eating good, and yeah, we're in a weird spot. Exactly. Honestly, they haven't had a movie. What was the last? The last, not Rise of Skywalker was 2019, I believe. So it's been years, yet you don't even have the feeling, like if you follow the Star Wars space, that there's really been that there really hasn't been another movie because you've had multiple shows, both live action as well as animated. I mean, right now you literally have two Star Wars shows going on at once: one live action and one animated. And then obviously they have comics that don't stop. Just everything, man. Like that's what I wish we could get to at some point with Avatar. Just have different mediums that we constantly can have something to look forward to. Like no matter what medium it is.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're both a little bit confused by because I had the feeling that that's what they were aiming for. I don't know if COVID screwed some of that up, but sometimes I feel like a little bit of that's a cop out. You can't blame everything that goes wrong on COVID because, I mean, look at Star Wars. They've been able to make shows throughout all of this. So I don't know. I'd love to see him get something going though, because like we've talked about, after three, it's going to be a good little wait, and I just hate to see all the fans fall off again. But really, if you just look at views and interactions online, it's already happened.
Yeah, I mean, we've noticed if you look at analytics for not just ours, but a lot of different channels, a lot of different social media platforms or accounts. It's um, and we didn't really think would be in this spot where we would just have and the thing that we say is just lack of communication. Like we don't even need something to actually be out right now, but at least have the communication of like knowing when the next thing would be out. You know what I mean? That's just the thing that right now it's kind of like just crickets right now at the moment.
We know we're getting more comics at some point. Will they be this year? I would assume so, but again, no one's told us anything. Is the mobile game Avatar Reckoning still happening? I don't know. That's one of those things where it seems like Avatar and mobile games has had a rough patch.
It really has,
Frontiers
yeah.
will happen for sure. Obviously, we're going to hear more about the game before it comes out, so I wouldn't expect it this year. But, we could be less than a year away from that game. But,
Exactly.
not hearing anything about any of it just makes it, I think, kind of rough on the fandom.
Exactly. And like you said, especially after coming off such like an amazing like world like record setting theatrical run, you would think you would want to have at least put some like communicate some announcements of like, hey, like you went to go see this, you're into the franchise. This is what you have to look forward to like later this year, towards the end, even early 2024, but at least kind of have something to go off. But Brianna Brown says she became a fan in 2020 when she heard about the sequels were coming soon. So yeah, relatively new fan, and especially for new fans like that, I just wish there was more they could really dive into. We have two movies now. You'll be able to purchase the second one in a couple weeks, and a few comic series. And that's almost about it, right?
Yeah, and I'm excited. I mean, I am very excited to be able to watch Avatar 2 at home. Yes, it's not the same experience that you get in a theater, but I'm excited to go through the movie frame by frame. I mean, this is something I love to do. Look at stuff that I
Yeah,
totally missed, stuff I've forgotten. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. So,
yeah,
we try to not be negative or like hate on Avatar in any way. And I don't think anything we're saying is hate. We just are a little bit frustrated with kind of the lack of continued content. But for what's out there, I mean, they do an amazing job. Avatar 2 was great. And so I'm very excited to dive into that and the 3+ hours of new content. So, I mean, that's going to be a lot to chew on right there.
yeah. It'll give us a lot of material to cover in future streams, and we also, like we've said, we're gonna uh, in about 3 weeks we can start really diving into the visual dictionary and the art book. Only because at that point we're gonna be getting really good, be able to do really good versions of that and really talk about it in a pristine way instead of just like photographing, the current pages of the book. So we're going to wait a few weeks on that. But in the meantime, we're still going to bring you episodes every Friday. I believe the very next thing we might be covering is Taruk the First Flight, right? I think that's the next thing we're actually going to do starting next week.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
So, yeah, guys, so for any of you, maybe the newer fans or anybody, even if you have heard of it before, we will start going through that. So, next Friday, we will start that. And that'll probably also be, maybe a couple streams to get through that. And it's a story about the first Taruk Makto. So it, back thousands of years before the events that we see play out in the movies. So pretty cool. You can see a lot of different clans. Let's see. I guess I'll try my best. We'll try our best to make sure we have some cool pictures to show you guys as we go along and things like that. Oh, and Charlie Wood's here with belay is a military term meaning cancel, which is, of course, different from delay. Anytime you thought you heard delay from a military character, it was probably belay. Okay. All right, cool. So that one was correct, but we still cannot find anything on GAC besides. Oh my God. Cocaine. Do that because I have no idea how it goes. Yeah, surely we'll do that. So don't worry. Like, we'll still be bringing you guys content every Friday. Still do our best to keep it interesting around here. But on top of that, just to kind of as we wind down here to go, I have done, like as you see right here, a change of the channel, a slight change in the direction. I explained in a post, and it's not that I'm going away from James Cameron's Avatar content at all. Obviously, we're still going to host this live show every Friday here exploring Avatar, but it just kind of gives me the opportunity, because right now we really don't have anything, is to kind of explore some of my other interests that I personally do have, and just not limit myself to one. So if you guys like that, whenever I do, I will also have other live streams I have coming up that they're going to be about different franchises. If you guys ever want to tune in for those, I did announce in that post that the first one I'm going to dive into is One Piece. It's a manga and anime. If you guys want to join me for that, I'll be reading through the manga. It is a long journey, over 1,000 chapters. But if you guys either you've read it or haven't, come along and let's go through that one. But other than that, yeah, for us, keep tuning in every Friday, and we'll have the Taruk the First Flight starting next Friday. Anything, Drew, before
I just wanted to. Yeah, I just want to say thanks, Jerry. I know you put in a lot of work, especially for this volume. That was a ton of slides. So thanks for all that you do for the channel, man. Hopefully some of the Avatar fans will enjoy the new content that you're putting on here as well. Apart from the Avatar content you'll still have on here. So
yeah, of course.
It's a shame that you have to make it kind of all encompassing, but if Jerry doesn't do that, I mean, his channel's going to stay basically the exact same size for the next couple of years. So if he wants to grow it at all, this is kind of the best opportunity for him to grow it.
Yeah, and it's just adding to, nothing that I've ever done is going to go away Avatar content-wise. We have like 170 of those videos, and we'll still add more, as we get more news. Obviously, we always will have this show here every Friday, so it's just kind of adding more to the table that I can dive into. It's just more options, so that's fun, and it's just a lot of people too. You guys as well might have other interests, and sometimes they might align with mine. So it'd be cool to kind of see you guys in other streams as well, or just watching other videos on the channel. It'd be pretty cool. But if not, it's always great to have you guys here, whether it's late for you or early morning. We really do appreciate that you guys do tune in and at least hear us ramble about Avatar every week on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys are what makes it fun, really, is the live chat. So we appreciate all you guys listening.
All right, but thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We finally finished the high ground. I know some of you had kept asking in prior streams. So it was, obviously we would have wished it was like volume 1, 2, 3 that we went through. So it was a weird order. We finally got through it. Yeah, we'll start with Taruk the First Flight. And hopefully along the way in some of these weeks, we get some announcements of something else we can look forward to, and obviously work towards that. If not, we'll really be diving into the art book and the visual dictionary with all the lore that we don't even see in the movie. So that's going to be super fun to finally have great slides to be able to dive into all that information in a few weeks. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and that's it from us. See you next Friday.
Later, guys.